for the very first time in the United States. Please welcome the Brandt Brauer Frick Ensemble.
Hi, I'm Chris Tarantino. We're here at Lincoln Center out of doors with Brandt Brauer Frick, fresh off their Ensemble debut here in the United States. How did you guys feel about the show?
Oh, we had a really amazing time. We really enjoyed it, and we had a great crowd, great weather, and we had an amazing view. Actually, we had a better view than the audience.
And then tomorrow night, you're sort of playing the flip side of your style, which is dark and druggier version of this in Santos Party House.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a dance act, like electronic setup, and it's only the three of us, no ensemble. But I think it's as good as the ensemble thing.
You guys are kind of like here at Lincoln Center, the Black Swan and the White Swan all rolled into one. You got both sides of everything. How did you kind of arrive at your style?
We were always just interested in using real instruments for making repetitive music and rhythmic stuff.
Are there any other acts that you can think of now that are sort of doing what you guys are doing?
Well, of course not exactly. We think we are totally unique and also the very best of all. Of course, no. But no, there's not a lot of people who do that kind of stuff because it's kind of technically hard to do. It has a lot to do with what we're all facing, like our life is so controlled by machines and stuff, and that's good, and that creates a new aesthetic. And then maybe one thought that we sometimes had was like to make all this human again.
I think there's some artists whose music would probably aid in the fact that they had an orchestra with them, and some that I would never want to hear orchestral versions of their music, like Skrillex. I think that would be hard.
Oh, and that's by now you can say it's really such a fashion that any pop star now does a tour with an orchestra and stuff, and I think it's only a matter of time that everybody will be totally sick of it. Of course, we think we're not like that because we make that, like, that's the essence of our music.
One other thing I think is a lot of DJs, I noticed, you guys all wear ties, and I think that you are very deserving of the tie thing, where a lot of people, it's like a hipster pose, but it's like, you guys, tomorrow night, you can be like, we played Lincoln Center last night, motherfuckers. We can wear the ties. Like, I think you buy that when you have a classical element to it. I mean, the crowds are going to be so different at both these venues. Are you excited for tomorrow as well?
Of course, totally. We heard a lot about Santos Party House, and it's always fun to play in New York on a weekend. It's always amazing.
How are you guys preparing for the gig for tomorrow? You're going to be DJing with, are you going to be augmenting with other things, or is it just spinning?
No, we don't DJ. We're going to play live.
Are you playing live?
Yeah, we have, our setup is a Groovebox from Korg. Paul is playing that. Jan is playing the Nordwave synthesizer and a little Moog. Oh no, we forgot that Moog, right? No. And then and I play drums, so it's pretty live for a club live act.
How was your night last night in New York? Was it
It was intense.
intense?
I don't want to see the bill of the minibar in the end. Because it was not a mini bar, it has a lot to offer, and we completely emptied it.
It was a maxi?
And we had it was a maxi bar, and the security guy came 2 times to our room and wanted to call the manager and stuff like this, but we had a good time.
How does it feel now after playing Lincoln Center last night to come down here and do a totally different beast of a show?
Yeah, like it brought us a bit back to the ground, which is always a good feeling in the end.
Yeah.
Because you never know. If you're after Lincoln Center, you're like, hey, everything is totally amazing and all right, and then you play at Santos Party House and everything just breaks and doesn't work.
You should have used that line we were talking about last night when I said about ties. We played Lincoln Center last night, motherfuckers. So let's get the drums going, okay? Do you know who we are?
Oh, I forgot to say that sentence. Yeah.
That was your line. That was your line.
Yeah, we had a really chaotic show tonight because our gear kind of broke in the middle of the set. But happily, the Angus from the other band, he provided us some other gear, and yeah, in the end it was a good thing.
I have to say, I didn't even know if that was, it's experimental. So I thought that could have actually been part of the show. I was like, oh, they're bringing in something totally weird offbeat here. It's interesting that yesterday was so much more of a complex show with literally 3 times as many people, and this was the one that was a little more difficult for you guys.
Yeah, that's true. Yesterday was really amazing. There was a standout thing for us to play in the middle of New York outside in front of this amazing, on that amazing place. And today was a chaotic show with still a lot of people, and it was nice and a good atmosphere. But of course, we prefer the show from last night.
There was a lot less people with walkers and heart conditions here tonight, I think.
That's true.
But they really enjoyed it last night. You couldn't see it because it was hard for them to move.
Yeah.